I'm Drew.
And I'm Tony.
And this is back for our future and yours, but the show that goes back to look at movies and music from the 90s. We don't know how long this show is going to go. That's up to you. And from the feedback we've gotten now, deep into multiple decades, or decades, years. Good gravy, my brain is fried. Anyway, it's up to you to help us keep it going on. So thank you for all your feedback. Tony, how are you, buddy?
Doing well, man. Just, hanging in there as best can be. Things are, life happens. It keeps going fast. And yeah, that old adage. So yeah, we're doing the best we can,
Well, I was telling somebody earlier today, like, here we go. We roll into January of 2026 when this is being recorded. And, it's always different because you kind of like the holidays, everything kind of slows down on purpose. And then all of a sudden the year starts and it's as if all of life is like, wait, I just woke up, and it just piles stuff on you. You know, I like all of us have stuff going on. Our buddy Jeff Worley has a ton of stuff going on. Work has gone crazy. It's just one of my kids had the flu. She's over it now. It's just like one thing after another, like, let's go. And we're only while recording this, we're only 16 days into this thing.
Yeah. Well, you're only 16 days, but it also feels like it kind of goes by fast, right?
That's the other problem, right? Is that next thing you know, we're only 16 days, or we're already 16 days into this thing. So it is definitely that.
Like, what happened?
Yeah. We're going to look up and it's going to be July and we're going to be in 1996. And we're going to be like, what happened?
Yeah, that's the sad part about life. That's what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, in this episode, we're still in 1994 and we're still around Christmas time.
Yes.
So we're still playing that game. We got a slew of movies in this. We're going to jam them all in. We're going to spend the appropriate amount of time because we don't shortfall anybody. There's some winners in here, like some major winners. There's a couple of movies we were talking about before the show that we might need to rewatch as adults because we didn't like them back then. And sure. And then there's some there's a couple of big ones, but there's a couple of gems in here that people may not have ever thought about, or they haven't thought about in a long time. So let's kick it off. December 2nd, 1994, out of the gates.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't this one of your brother's movies too? Isn't it one of his jams?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a movie that I really liked a lot. I mean, I think he's seen it. I don't think it necessarily was, one of his biggest Christmas movie has always been Jingle All the Way.
Okay. Gotcha.
But this one is a good one for sure. We actually didn't. So there's a couple of Christmas movies we're going to get to on this list, and we didn't really talk about them during our Christmas episodes because we were going to be talking about them here. And so I didn't really up, and this is one of them. This is an actual Christmas movie. I mean, this is all happening at Christmas time. They specifically go to this town, because of Christmas. And but the movie's Trapped in Paradise, and it's got a great cast. Nicolas Cage, Dana Carvey, John Lovitz. It's quite sensational, actually. And a bit of an underrated gem. I'll say this. Do you remember seeing this? Because I actually remember your story about when you saw this.
I don't remember the story, but I do. I know I saw this in theaters, but I don't remember the story behind it. I don't.
So I think if I remember this correctly, you might have been grounded, not a huge groundment, but maybe like a week or something like that. And you saw this movie with your dad.
I do remember seeing it with my dad.
Yeah,
I do that.
I vividly remember the groundment part's a little bit fuzzy because I don't exactly remember what you would have been grounded for, but I do remember definitely you saw this with your dad because you came back. I hadn't seen it yet, and this was one of those movies that you actually saw before me, which is kind of a rarity because I used to see everything. So if you and I didn't see it together, I would always be at the theater before most everybody. So, but yeah.
Based on when this movie came out, and I mean like the time of year, I would imagine that I was grounded for grades because we'd be going into midterms,
Right, right.
and I was probably grounded for my grades at this point. So that's 100%. I can almost guarantee it because we probably have gotten out of school within the next week or two. So I was on lockdown, lockdown for grades, no doubt, no doubt.
I mean, not a huge hit movie, but definitely great, definitely a great film. And
It's
actually,
funny. It's really
oh,
funny.
so funny. It also has kind of like a romantic comedy element to it as well. And just, I mean, we already mentioned the three biggest players on the cast, but I mean, it's got John Ashton from the Beverly Hills Cop movies, and Machen Amick, and Donald Moffat, and Richard B. Jenkins. I mean, it's really quite a good film. Highly recommend it to anyone who's never watched it. And if you have seen it and you haven't seen it in a long time, go back and check it out if you can find it.
Yeah, that's one of those ones. It's funny you say that because now that we talk about it, it makes me, because I haven't thought about this movie in a long time, but I remember I watched it. I think I even owned it
I
on
have,
either VHS or
yeah.
DVD at some point. Yeah, because I enjoyed it that much. Like I was one of those. I really enjoyed this movie, and it could have been partially because it was something I saw with my dad. He wasn't quite like your dad that saw very select movies. My dad saw a few more movies because obviously he's taken us to some of these.
Right,
Um,
sure.
but he didn't see a ton of movies, uh, and so this would have been one that I would have remembered, or I probably would have liked because I saw it with him. It's a
That's a
funny
good,
movie.
oh, that's great.
All right, so we come out of Trapped in Paradise, one of the only Christmas movies really in this time frame. It feels like, and we go into December 9th, and we get two movies. One I kind of remember, the other one I think when you bring it up, you'll jog the memory. But we get two different films here. We'll start with the movie Disclosure. I don't remember it.
So this movie's kind of known for starting the sexual harassment. I mean, this is like this kind of brought about the sexual harassment stuff in the workplace, right? I mean, this kind of brought all that into light because it's about Demi Moore who kind of sexually harasses Michael Douglas in the movie,
Oh,
harassment issue in this movie. So it kind of breaks the ceiling of sexual harassment in the workplace, and it kind of brought that topic into light a little bit more in just everyday culture. So this is part of that. It was a major hit, made like 215 million on like a 55 billion.
whoa.
So it was a huge hit and great movie. Of course, Michael Douglas, Demi Moore, Donald Sutherland, Dennis Miller is in it as well, and Barry Levinson directed. So kind of a of course it was produced by Michael Crichton because it's based on a Michael Crichton book, and so it's got all the heavy hitters, right? So I mean it was one of those films, and yeah, I mean
That
it's a
movie.
great movie. I mean this is the time frame, right? Because Michael Douglas is
Yep.
still really a big box office draw
Yeah.
in the 90s in this time frame, and he's like one of the big names, and pretty much everything he did at this point is kind of must watch.
It's funny because the cast, the subject matter, the fact that it's based on a Crichton book. This is a quintessential '90s movie that probably doesn't get enough credit, but that is like the most '90s elements you could have ever had in a film, just right then and there, just that easy.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, and it's a good one. I mean, I highly recommend it. I always liked. I mean, like I said, I watching Michael Douglas not too long ago in the streets of San Francisco on Pluto TV, an
Yeah.
old TV show, old cop TV show he used to do with Carl Malden. And I just love Michael Douglas, man. He's one of those classic actors that I just love watching. So yeah, I mean, he had some really big movies in the '90s, and this is definitely one of them.
The other side of it too is like going back. Obviously, with Demi Moore's career,
Yeah.
going back and everything that she did in The Substance, which I think was my favorite film of 24, whenever it came out. It was either, I think it was 24 is when it came out. And I only need to watch it once. I never need to see that movie again. But her performance is incredible. And now she's on Landman, where her performance is really good as well. And going back and seeing old Demi Moore stuff, it's a real shame that she's not gotten more accolades in the sense of like Michael Douglas is a brand name, and so was she, but like she just never got that opportunity to punch out. And she's really good. It makes me curious to go back and watch this, her in a good dramatic role that's heavy, that gives some brevity to it. I bet she rock and rolls it. I bet she just rock and rolls it. So
Yeah, it had a lot of big movies in the '90s as well. So I mean, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
she was part of the Brat Pack and stuff like that. And some of those Brat Pack people weren't always taken seriously. So that was, maybe that was part of it as well. But and of course, she was always big into the spotlight because Bruce Willis and such. So her private life was always big candidate for paparazzi and all that. So.
Well, sometimes you fall out of the limelight, and sometimes you end up in the movie Drop Zone. That was my segue. Look, I remember this movie because it's a wild movie in the sense of like it's got the Point Break kind of vibes to it in the sense of everything, but it also kind of has like this for me, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but it also has like some cliffhanger-y type vibes to it. It kind of just got this, and this is at the dawn of the computer era, so there's like hackers involved, and there's all this stuff. That's a wildly good movie by memory. I haven't seen it in a long time. Now you might remember it better than me. It's a Wesley Snipes movie, which I like Wesley Snipes in the '90s a lot. Like I think he's great.
Minus one movie.
Which one is that?
Boiling Point. Minus one movie.
Yeah,
West.
yeah, that's true. You're right.
Minus that film, he's great.
Yeah. So what do we got on Drop Zone? I mean, it's an interesting movie. I mean, it's kind of paint by numbers action, but like I said, it mixes some other stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, you got quintessential action director John Badham, who kind of mixes great elements of action and comedy and stuff like that. There's not much comedy in this one, but I mean, but it's got all the quintessential players, right? Like Wesley Snipes, you got your big action star. It's got Gary Busey, you can come in and drop great one-liners, right? And it's got Yancey Butler, who was big at the time, and Corin Nemec coming in from Parker Lewis Can't Lose, and and it's even got Malcolm Jamal Warner in this movie as well. If you don't remember him,
that's
in it.
Right. That is right. You're right.
So it's got a really cool cast as well, and yeah, it does kind of play kind of like a Point Break. I was going to say that as I was coming up with this show. I was like, well, this is kind of a Point Break-esque movie for sure, except they're not surfers, they're skydivers. Right? So I mean, it's got all those kinds of elements. It's a fun film. It did pretty well, and made like almost $70 million on a $45 million budget. So back in that, solid because you're going to have big secondary markets, but so it did well, and Wesley was really big in the '90s, so it was kind of fun to watch him. I always liked watching his action movies, his real action movies, not Boiling Point.
So what's funny is as a piece, I think most people know this, but there really is an industry side of things where people will say things like, oh, listen, I got this new script. It's hot. It's called Drop Zone. It's like Point Break, but with airplanes. That's a real thing that happens. That still happens today. People will take two movies and say it's like this meets this. It's like Die Hard, but on a train. It'll be whatever it is. That still happens in the elevator pitch style format. So it is funny that Drop Zone was probably pitched as like, it's kind of like Point Break, but with airplanes. It's like, okay, got it. It's fun. Look, I out of those two movies, not that we normally do this, I actually am more curious about Disclosure as an adult who runs a business now than I would be Drop Zone as a teenager in the 90s, right? So Disclosure is probably a more relevant movie for me to watch now, but sometimes like Drop Zone might show up on HBO Max and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to hit play and sit back and enjoy it because it is what it is.
Movie. It's just a quintessential '90s action movie. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. You're going to
especially.
Yeah, you can enjoy that for an hour and a half. It's no big deal.
Yeah, especially nowadays when they're trying to remake 90s action movies. That's a new genre. People are trying to remake them. It's funny.
It's his own genre.
It is its own genre for sure. So we jump ahead, and I'm not going to go into a lot of hoopla about this, but I'm going to do a little bit. We land on Nell, and I'm just
Yeah.
going to be honest with you. I know that there are listeners of this show, and I know that those listeners are primarily Tony's friends. They may know me, like Richard. Richard is my friend, but he's Tony's friend. Like if me and Tony went to war, Richard's going to stand on Tony's side.
You never know. You don't
But
know
when it
that.
oh my God, your
You don't know
delivery was so good.
that.
But there is one movie that I forever, we talked about this off air. Tony was like, look, dude, I just don't talk about the movies I don't like. Right. This show makes Tony mention some of the movies like Boiling Point that he doesn't like. Well, Nell, when we were growing up, Nell was the movie that I would cite for years of like, Tony doesn't like every movie, guys. There's one movie he doesn't like, and it's Nell. And we had this really great conversation just moments before the show, and Tony brought up a very valid point. It really does have me thinking. You know, when you go back and watch a movie, you saw this movie when we were 18, you're 18. We saw this movie when we were young. I bet the context of it as an adult is completely different. We had a good laugh about that because it's probably true. We probably both would like this movie now. Maybe not. What do you have to say about the movie that has been known as your nemesis for a million years?
All right. So first of all, let's talk about the film, right? Because I mean, on paper, this has all the elements of something I would like, right? So it's directed by Michael Apted. He's a wonderful director. It has Jodie Foster, who wasn't always my favorite actress, but she's obviously very good. And it has Liam Neeson, who I absolutely love. Natasha Richardson, who was his wife, who would pass away tragically, and Richard Libertini, who I absolutely love as well. And of course, this movie was a huge hit. It was like a $25 million movie that made like 107 at the box office. Huge hit. Everything's great on paper, right? I mean, it's shot by Dante Spinotti, who's a
Oh
wonderful
God, legend. Yeah.
legend. Right. So it's got all the players. It's got all the stuff. It's just not good. You know? It's just so slow and plotting and just I mean, Jodie Foster goes full retard in this movie
Yes.
in the worst
Yes.
possible, and it's just not really entertaining to watch. I know it was entertaining for the Academy to watch it. I know the Golden Globes love to watch it. I know they gave her awards. I know there's good on them. Who cares? Nobody cares about any of that. Nobody gives a crap. It's just not a good movie. Now, listen, should I watch it now in my late 30s? Probably. You know?
Yeah.
In my late 30s, I should probably watch it now. Okay? Because the reality is, I saw this movie. I didn't see it in theaters, number one. This was one of these movies I didn't see in theaters. I actually rented it, and I rented it with this girl I was seeing at the time. And I didn't want to rent this movie. I wanted to rent something else. She wanted to rent this movie.
Right.
So I already came in with that mindset, like, I don't want to watch this crap, you know? And so we watched it. I was already in a bad mindset. I didn't like the movie. I don't like the girl. It just none of it worked. None of it worked. You don't like the girl, you don't like the movie, you don't like what you're doing, you just want to be out of there, and this movie stunk. So it is what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
I
not good
yeah,
then.
I don't have anything to add to it. I think you summed it up legitimately. There's really I like all when you said when you said the line from Tropic Thunder, all I could think about is like, is that what he was talking about this entire time? I
Yes.
totally think, yeah, he's a genius. Good for him for being such a genius. Well, let's move past it because we get hit in the face with one of the greatest comedies of all time. Thank God. Thank God that on December 16th, one of what will be one of the considered the greatest comedies in the history of comedies comes out.
So good. How many times have you quoted lines from this movie?
Oh, I don't even know. It's ridiculous.
A
It's
billion?
ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah.
just I do it. I do it today,
Yeah. Yeah.
to this day.
And, and that, of course, is the Jim Carrey vehicle. I mean, and it's not fair because Jeff Daniels does a great job. That is Dumb and Dumber, the very
Yeah.
first one, the launching platform, the movie that literally changes comedy in so many different ways because of how they pull this off. Um, is this the launch of the Farrelly brothers?
Yeah, yeah, man.
Good
Yeah,
grief.
it's just such a great film. I mean, it's got everything in it. It's got everything in it, man. It's a perfect comedy. It is a perfect comedy. It's got the Fairley brothers. It's got Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels, Lauren Holly, Karen Duffy, Charles Rocket, Terry Garr. It's going to make $250 million on a $17 million budget, which you never shoot
Unbelievable.
in these days. It would never get shot with that cast for $17 million. No, Jim Carrey was making more than $17 million by himself later on. So I mean, yeah, I mean it's he's got music by Todd Rundgren. I mean, it's a perfect film in every way, shape, and form. I quote it to this day. It's maybe Jim Carrey's best movie. I mean, it's maybe Jeff Daniels' best movie. I mean, they're both great actors. I mean, I love it, love it, love it. My brother loves it. I don't know anyone who doesn't like this film. I don't know
Yeah,
anyone who like this movie.
yeah. It is hands down one of the most enjoyable comedies you can watch just because you can't help but smile and laugh because it is just that funny. Uh I probably what's weird is as my life has changed, the quotable lines have shifted to more frequency. I don't know why, but kick his ass sea bass comes out of my mouth a whole lot these days. It just makes me laugh. I love it from end to end. It's it's just solid.
I mean, I hear so many people use the line, so you're saying there's a chance
Yep, yep,
all the time.
yep,
And that literally comes from this movie. I mean,
yep.
that line was basically formed and popularized in this film. So
Yeah,
it's to me, it's just a perfect movie. And by
yeah.
perfect, you got to look at it by genre, right? You can't just be like, oh no, it's not going to win 25 Oscars. Who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about awards. I mean, no, they're garbage. So nobody cares.
Nobody
This is a perfect movie.
nobody can say squat when you make a movie for $17 that grosses 250 million. Like that is
No, it's
or
great.
17 mil. I'm making a joke, but still, like that's crazy. Now, what's interesting is there's a very charming movie, in my opinion, that comes out the same day that I imagine may have been overlooked. I don't know the box office numbers on it.
It does get overlooked.
Yeah,
It's good.
it's a really it's the kind of stuff that makes me love not Keaton. What is Gina Davis?
Yeah.
It's one of the things that makes it's one of the movies that makes me love Gina Davis. There's just something gosh darn cute about her. She's
Yeah.
just so got it's just
Yeah,
good.
sure. Yeah. No, the movie's Speechless. It's a great romantic comedy directed by Ron Underwood and stars Michael Keaton, Gina Davis, Bonnie Bedelia, and Ernie Hudson is in it, and of course Christopher Reeve is in this movie, and of course he hasn't had his accident yet. He will.
Right.
He will shortly after this, um,
Wow.
but he hasn't had it yet. So you still get a very handsome, walking around Christopher Reeve, right? And yeah, I mean, oddly enough, it was produced by Gina Davis and her guy at the time, Rennie Harlan. So
Oh, I
this
didn't
movie,
realize that.
yeah, this movie was actually produced by Rennie Harlan, which is complete departure from what kind of movies he was making, right, at the time.
Right.
And Yeah, it didn't particularly do great. Of course, it would need secondary markets to kind of get back some of its money, but it was like a $38 million movie that did like 26 million. So, little underachiever. But going up against Dumb and Dumber, and you're kind of a comedy, and it's kind of and this was kind of the a movie that was loosely based maybe off of James Carville and Mary Madeline,
Yep. Yep.
who were political opposites, and this is kind of that. It's about two speech writers and stuff. I saw this movie twice at the theaters. Um, once at Movies 10, and then once at the Dollar Theater, which makes me want to go back for a quick second to Dumb and Dumber because I had actually seen Dumb and Dumber in St. Louis because we came up for Christmas
Yeah.
and came up to St. Louis for Christmas, and I saw Dumb and Dumber in St. Louis at a theater that's now a church.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was Keller Theater up here in St. Louis, and that theater went out. It was a Warenberg theater, and it went.
Yep.
And I wanted to talk about this because we are at our core a movie theater podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, yes.
So it was Warenberg Theater that went out of business, and then Warenberg was still around, but that theater was gone. And then a Dollar Theater came in, revamped it, and took over. And the Dollar Theater was in there from like early 2000s until about the end of 2018. And then they went out. There was nothing in the building for a little bit, and now it's a church. They've renovated as a church.
Crazy.
It'll never be a movie theater again, sadly. But
Yeah.
great, because it was a Dollar Theater up until the end of 2018. So that's kind of cool.
That is cool. That's really cool. It's one of those things, especially like we started talking about this one theater, but even just going down the list as we go through these, having those a lot of luckily for me and you, is that a lot of movies, a lot of our theaters in this time frame were popping. They weren't changing. So when we get to have that reference of where are they now, it's this one's become a church, or the one you just mentioned. And I often think about the theaters up in Columbia, Missouri, that were like this very small town vibe, and I think about those theaters, and then the big theater, the Hollywoods came. And anyway, lots of fun stuff as we continue through those. Let's go to December. Are we good with Speechless?
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
movie. I'd highly recommend going back and watching. If you're a Michael Keaton and Gina Davis fan, these two are great on screen together, and it's a funny movie. Michael Keaton's doing a lot of his comedic shtick here, but you can see that he's a dramatic actor too in this spot as well. So it's a cool movie.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Love it. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I did not see it when it came in theaters. It is something that entered my radar later, and reviewing it. All right, so December 21st rolls around. Now, I do think this is kind of relevant. This is December 1994, and thus far, and I understand why they might not want to put a Christmas movie directly into the Christmas season, but there's only been one Christmas themed movie for all of December. Am I wrong on this?
There'll be a second one that's coming up.
Okay.
It's coming up.
Um,
I'll get there, but yeah, there's a second one that's coming up. That's definitely.
okay.
Uh,
It
usually,
is. It is interesting.
usually they try to get them out a little ahead of December, so
Yeah.
they can ramp into Christmas, so people ramp into Christmas. So that's why that usually happens. So we ran into some of them in November, and they always
Yeah.
ramp it a little bit. So that's kind of the norm for the Christmas movies, is they bring them out in November, ramp them into Christmas, and so they're not always like Christmas Day. That's usually more reserved for the movies that are going to be up for potential awards or bigger movies and stuff like that.
Got it. So there's a chunk of movies here because it's the holiday scenario here in terms of like releasing. So we have Little Women, Richie Rich, and Mixed Nuts. These are three very different movies. Quite literally, mixed nuts of the movies. These three movies are mixed nuts.
That's the Mixed
What
Nuts
was
is
that?
Mixed Nuts is the Christmas movie.
Is it really? I don't remember that. I was going to ask you about. So Little Women, I know that's a. I mean, that's a. Is it Jane Austen? It's somebody like that originally wrote whoever. It doesn't matter. This is the one
Louisa.
with Winona Ryder. Yeah, I do. But I put them in that same block
Yeah, no,
of movies. Teenage Drew wouldn't watch. Movies adult Drew still won't watch.
yeah, no, absolutely. I hear you. Have you ever seen this movie? I don't think you have. You may have never seen it before.
No, I would catch on fire.
It's got a strong cast. I mean, it's Winona Ryder, who was huge, especially
Yeah.
in the '90s, of course, '80s and '90s. Gabriel Byrne, who's awesome. He's really cool. Trini Alvarado, Samantha Mathis, Kirsten Dunst, Claire Danes. I don't even think you like most of these actresses, to be honest with you. You aren't a huge fan of
I
any
like
of them.
Kirsten Dunst. I like
Yeah.
Dunst.
Christian Bale, Eric Stoltz, Susan Sarandon. It's a good cast. Did
Cast
really
is
well.
crazy good. Yeah.
$15 million movie making almost 96 million. That's pretty solid. You know. Yeah, Little Women. I mean, it's been done. It's been done quite a few times over the years. It always it always seems to do well. So they always, no matter when they release this, it always seems to do pretty well at the box office. So it's fairly popular title. It's a huge book, of course. Louisa May Alcott, and it's yeah. I mean, so they popped it out here near Christmas time, and against two very different films. So yeah. But I've seen it a
There we
couple.
go.
I haven't seen it a lot, but I've seen it back in the day. I saw this movie. It was not in theaters. I saw it. It was a rental for me.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely one of those movies where they came in to pitch it and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna make a movie. It's gonna be like Little Women meets Little Women." That's their Hollywood pitch for that one. It's Little Women meets Little Women. Okay,
Well, I
enough dumb
watched
jokes. Let's go on. Go ahead.
this with a girl too. You know that. You knew that was coming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This wasn't like a Tony Friday night rental. Like, oh, let me rent Little Women. Go sit down at the house and have a bowl of ramen and watch Little Women by myself. No, didn't work.
I'm sure most guys that have seen this movie were probably drug into it by the pursuit of a woman.
Yeah, I mean that's how I see all my bad. That's how I see all my worst movies.
Yeah. But that cast is good, so I'm sure the movie's probably great. It's just
It's
not.
cast. It's a great cast, and it it's a well acted movie. It's not. I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, it's a good movie. I like this better. I tell you, I like this way better than I like Nell at the time.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no that.
yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Well, that juxtaposes against one of his last movies for a while, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
this
Yeah,
is the last is like the really big part of his career. I mean, he'll make a few more movies later on in his adulthood, but this is the last of his big careers at the end here in 1994. It's kind of weird the way it goes out like this, but yeah, I mean, we're talking about Macaulay Culkin, of course, and the movie's Richie Rich, and it's going to do pretty well. I mean, it's like a $40 million movie, makes like 80, and it's got John Larroquette. It's got a lot of the cool guys, right? It's got Macaulay Culkin. It's got John Larroquette. It's got Edward Herman, Christine Ebersole. It's a cool movie, and of course, it's based on the old comic books and stuff, Richie Rich, and yeah, I mean, so yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was
oh
a
yeah,
good.
yeah. It's a fun. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Essentially it's a comic strip movie. It's based off of a comic strip, and it's fine for what it is. And Macaulay Culkin's great in it, and it's smarmy. It is what it is. Like, it's not something that it's kind of a shame that that's his last movie for a long time, because I think the kid could act. But it is what it is.
I think he didn't want to after a while. He had already made
Yeah.
a ton doing other stuff, and he was having trouble with his parents and his dad specifically, and I think he just got tired the drama. I don't blame him,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. If you got the means to step away from that limelight and stuff, I think it was just a lot for him. You know, I mean, I know it was because he says it and such in later interviews and things like that. But I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
great actor. He doesn't seem to have ever been. He's never been the kid actor who had all the issues, right? You know, he wasn't that. He was never that guy. Like he's grown up to have a pretty normal adult life. You know, in relationship wise and family wise and stuff like that. So I mean, he's an example of a success story.
Yeah.
It's
For sure. All right. Well, that takes us to Mixed Nuts. I don't. I mean, obviously, I remember it as a title of a movie. I just don't remember the movie.
so it's a Nora Ephron. Um, and she wrote and directed it, and then it stars Steve Martin. It's got a really good cast too. It's Steve Martin and Madeline Kahn and Robert Klein and our boy Anthony LaPaglia and
Yeah.
your girl Juliette Lewis is in this,
Nope.
and it's got Rob Reiner and it's got Adam Sandler and Rita Wilson. I mean, that's a hard comedic cast to beat right there.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a it was not a huge movie. It didn't do particularly well. It's like a $20 million movie that made about 7 million, so it's kind of struggled at the box office. It's an underrated Christmas. It's kind of an underrated Christmas black comedy about this family, and I do actually recommend it. It is pretty funny. Um, it's not one of the movies we talked about at Christmas time because I was going to share it for this episode, but underrated. Definitely not a Christmas story, but it is a great Christmas film nonetheless.
Yeah, it's something I'll have to go back and see if I can find it. It seems like it might be a little tricky um, to dig up. But Steve Martin being in it, and obviously with Rob Reiner in it and his passing, it gets a resurface. We'll have to see. I'm going to go try and find it. I'm just curious about it because the cast sounds incredible. I just do not remember it to save my life.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I've seen it quite a few times over the years. I mean, I actually own a copy of this on DVD, so I can watch it anytime now because I have a DVD player. I have a DVD. I put them into the player. I'd explain this to somebody the other day, by the way.
Oh my lord!
I'm not kidding, man. So there was somebody we were talking about the movie Child, and they were like, "Well, how did you watch them?" Like they said that to me. They go, "Well," I was like, "Oh yeah, I love Problem Child. I like to watch it every once in a while." They're like, "Well, how do you watch it?" And I go, "I have these things. They're round. I can put them in my hands. I can physically feel them. They're little round discs. I put them into a player that they can be kind of smaller or larger depending on which one you buy, and I hook that into my TV, and it magically pops up on the screen. It's amazing. You put them into this little
Yeah,
box, it magically pops up on the screen. Wow. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that technology existed.
right, right.
I mean, you can still buy them. You can still buy
Yeah,
DVDs. Are still making them. I mean, not as frequently as they used to. Um, you can't go into some of the stores and find them. Like you can't go into Best Buy. Used to have the greatest DVD selection of all time. They
yeah.
no
It's
longer
gone.
use for the
Yeah,
most. But I mean, you can still get this stuff. Come on, guys. Come on, we got to do better, man. Like society's got to do better. I mean, what the hell is going on? Like, wake
I
up.
think I think I think the biggest concern is like it is quite literally it's on a catalog of a hard drive somewhere, but if that distributor just does not feel like releasing it, there's a
Yeah.
lot of movies that you may never see again if you don't have physical media.
No, I mean it's happening. It's
Yeah.
currently
Yeah.
you might make deals for them later on down the road. I mean, with some of these streamers, they might make a deal somewhere down the road, but you may not never watch some of these movies again. We're still getting mail about Jack the Bear.
That's crazy.
Every time we mention this movie, somebody wants to watch it somewhere, and
Right.
they you can't find it. So unless you find a copy of this film, which people have done that have listened to our show, they've actually gone out and bought this film. You're not finding it anywhere else. It's not popping up on the big red Satan streamer that has the big red logo. The big red in for Satan, you know?
Yeah.
It's not popping up there. So I mean, these people don't want to, they're just not going to show those types of films. So you got to you got to do better, man. You just got to do better. You got to put the work in. You got to use the brain. The brain is up there. God gave you this brain. Use it. Figure it out. It's not that complicated. Let's do it. Come on. Come on. Come on, people.
Well, after that rant, it takes us to December 23rd. And we have yet another interesting lineup that's also mixed nuts. But we have December 23rd. We get Legends of the Fall, which is the Brad Pitt monstrosity.
You don't like it?
No, I do. I didn't at the time. I'll be honest. When I was younger, I didn't care for it. I think it's because, if I'm being really candid, I probably was jealous of the fact that like every girl I knew swooned over Brad Pitt. They all
Yeah.
just, but not just the girls. My mom was like, "Oh, he's gorgeous," and my aunt, "Oh, he's gorgeous." Everybody just loved Brad Pitt, and he had long hair, no shirt, and a cowboy hat. I got it. And he rides horses in this movie. He's a
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
But I saw it later, and it's a pretty darn well good made movie. Like it's good. It's a good movie. I hate to say it.
It is a good movie. I did see this I saw this one. This is the last movie on the list, I believe, I saw with a female. But this is one of them that I also saw with a female as a rental as well. I mean,
This one
Edwards.
makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, but you're right. I mean, but it has all the guys, right? It's Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. Come on, Anthony Hopkins, so great in the '90s. He's got so many great
Yep.
movies in the '90s. I mean, I wanted to see him in everything that he was doing in the '90s. From Bram Stoker's Dracula and all. It's just like, dude, he's so
Oh yeah.
great. Aiden Quinn. I mean, dude, Aiden Quinn's awesome, man. He's in
He was
Stakeout,
a
bro.
heartthrob too.
I
He
mean,
was a heartthrob.
he's in Stakeout, you know.
Right.
And then it's got Henry Thomas, who we both worked with on Dead Birds.
Yep.
And it's also got Julia Ormond, who I loved. I thought Julia Ormond
Yeah.
was absolutely gorgeous. And so it had a little something for everybody, to be honest with you. It's a great movie. It was a huge hit. It was a $30 million movie, which you could never shoot this for $30 million these days. You could especially with that cast, but you could never shoot this epic like this for $30 million. It would never happen. This today would get shot for $150 million easily, without question.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it made $161 million. It was a huge hit. Everybody was talking about it. Brad Pitt, shirt off, on a horse, doing whatever he's doing. His hair was all wavy. I mean, it is what it is, man.
It is. It is a good movie. It just that is truly my memory as a how old was I? I was 16 or so, around close to 16.
Yeah.
That's what my memory. I guess I was 16. That's my memory of this movie is 100% Brad Pitt shirtless, long hair, horse.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, I try and rewatch different things, and this movie is popular enough that it will still show up on non-physical media platforms. And I think it showed up on, it was another one of those Plutos or Tubies or one of my free channels I love to watch because I love just stumbling onto a movie I haven't seen in a long time without consciousness of it. Like, oh, I got to watch this.
Yeah.
And it's one of those. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as an adult. It was a much better movie.
Yeah. We always talk two cheap jerks always talking about watching free TV. You and I.
Yeah.
No
I know.
TV, Tubi TV. You and I watching free TV all the time. This is all we talk about now.
I know. Well, we need to get sponsored on the show by Pluto, who I like better than Tubi. I like Pluto better.
I do like Pluto better. I like Pluto better because they have all the old sitcoms. That's what I love about them.
Yeah, yeah.
They got the movies, but they got the.
Um, that takes us to Nobody's Fool. I'm not 100% sure I remember this movie. I'm going to let you tee that up.
Yeah, it's a really
I
good movie.
clearly know the next movie on this list, but I don't totally remember Nobody's Fool.
Yeah, it's a really, really good movie. It's got just the greatest cast, man. I mean, it's first of all, it's a Paul Newman vehicle. Um,
Okay.
Paul Newman. It's got Jessica Tandy in her last role. Bruce Willis, Melanie Griffith, Dylan
Oh,
Walsh,
yeah.
Pruitt Taylor Vince, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who we both worked with, um,
Yeah.
Philip Bosco, Catherine Dent, Margot Martindale. I mean, it's a pretty awesome film. They're all great. There's a lot of really funny lines in it. Um, it's just a really really well acted, underrated film that did pretty well. It was like a $20 million film, did like 40 million, so pretty good for this kind of movie, and which it has this like really interesting plot of this guy who's like in a town and he's kind of an old stubborn guy, and so there's it's kind of the softening of the old stubborn guy type movie. It's that kind of
Yeah, yeah,
cool,
yeah.
right? And so Paul Newman plays this role to a T, and Bruce Willis kind of plays kind of an antagonist in it a little bit. So it's pretty cool. It's a good movie. I mean I saw it. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it as a rental. Loved it. Thought it was amazing, and I've watched it probably a couple times over the years, and think it's still great. So check it out
There we go.
if we can. If
And
you can
this
find.
last, if you can find it, yeah, that's probably the trick. This isn't the last movie on the list, but this is the last movie of December 23rd. Listen, the hype on this movie for me was massive.
Yes.
There was this was one of the earlier video game based movies, maybe the first. I'm not totally sure, but it was a huge game
First,
at the
but
time. And I was so excited to see it because I just wanted to see one character,
yeah.
which was Guile. But I also just wanted to, so I used to play this game in the movie we're talking about a Street Fighter, and I used to play the video game with my cousin Wade, and he would
Right.
pick the character's name is Dalsim, and he would just do this thing where he would squat down and punch you in the nuts, basically the knees, really. But he would just constantly, and I could never beat him, and it was just annoying, and he was just metagaming me. I got tired of it. I just wanted to see that character get his butt kicked in a movie. That part didn't happen. But what did happen is one of the weirdest castings I've ever heard of in my entire life, and it had to have been an infamy. And the villain is played by someone who just, it doesn't make sense to me why.
You talking about
It's
Bison?
Raul Julia.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's his last.
That's
movie.
one of the weirdest castings. Right.
It's his last movie. It's the last movie for Raul Julia. So
Right.
I got some interesting stories about this movie. Number one, because this is I actually have a lot of history with this film. So Street Fighter, of course, is Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Yeah.
who I've worked with, who signed this poster for my brother. So
Unbelievable.
has this hanging in his man cave in his place. Um, and then, of course, my buddy, one of my best friends, Chad Rosen, he was an assistant director on this,
Oh, boy.
and his dad, Robert L. Rosen, produced this movie,
Holy smokes.
produced this film. Chad was an assistant director on this. So I've over the years gotten tons of stories about this movie. And one of the stories I always asked him about was Raul Julia, because obviously he comes before I ever get in the industry. And so I've never obviously worked with him or met him or anything. And I always thought he was great. Of course, he's He's got so many great roles, and of course, I loved him in the Addams Family, and
Yeah.
some great '90s roles that he was picking up, right? And so I asked about Raul Julia. He said, "Amazing." He's like just the most amazing guy. And for Chad Rosen to say that is a
Yeah.
big deal.
Right.
It's a big deal because Chad hated a lot of people when it came to
Yeah.
acting, and as a lot of assistant directors do, sometimes not like a lot of people. So he loved Raul Julia. He loved him. He was up there with like for him he was up there with like Brandon Lee. He loved Brandon Lee when he did The Crow.
Yeah.
And Raul Julia was another guy. Maybe it's because they passed away. I don't know. Maybe he was soft on them. But he said he had a lot of fun with Raul Julia. And of course, Jean Claude is Jean Claude. You know, Jean Claude is Jean Claude, and
Yeah. JC's great.
he's great.
JC's great.
Yeah, and he's huge in this time frame. So the movie did really well. So it's a funny story, right? So the movie did really well. It's like a 35 million. It did like 100 million. So that's pretty solid. So Capcom in a like a shareholders meeting in 2024. So this hasn't been that long ago. It's been just a little over a year ago, maybe. And in a Capcom shareholders meeting, said this movie, this particular Street Fighter film, still makes over 10 million or so, like millions, tens of millions of yen
Oh
a
my
year.
God.
So this movie is still making quite a bit of money.
Unbelievable.
It's just unreal. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It is what it is. It's a you know it's a it's a game based film. It's a video game based film. I mean, some of those are just what they are. I enjoyed watching it. I didn't
Yeah.
have a problem. You know,
No. It's fine. Look, it was fun. The reality of it was like back in the day, Street Fighter was massive. Street Fighter 2 specifically. Street Fighter was a massive arcade, and then it was on the consoles. And the thing about Street Fighter that was fine is it's side by side fighting. So if anyone doesn't know it, it's just like two characters flat plane smashing each other. It's like Mortal Kombat, but more animated looking. They turned that into a movie. The story, there's not much story inside of Street Fighter, yet they made a feature out of it. So kudos for that. I just will forever wonder how they secured Raul Julia for that movie, because it's just a fascinating, it's just fascinating to me. He's such a classy actor, and M. Bison's not a bad character. He's just not it just doesn't seem like a Raul Julia vehicle by any
it's
means.
it's a question that we can get answered though, because I still
Oh, that would be amazing.
because Chad's father's still alive, and
Yeah.
Chad's deceased obviously, but Chad's father's still alive, and I do talk to him via email every once in a while. So it's actually a question that I can send him, and we can probably try to get it. Either get him on the show or get at least a response from him. So I'll do it. I'll reach out to him.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
that would be incredible.
come back to it. But
I
I mean,
do believe, yeah.
this movie also is known for because Kylie Minogue plays
Hmm.
Lieutenant Tammy White in this movie, and she looks absolutely
Smoking.
sensational. Yeah,
Oh, smoking.
this is like
Smoking.
Kylie Minogue at her absolute peak in 1994, and we'd be absolutely remiss not to mention her in this film. She's wonderful. Ming Na
Yeah.
Wen as Chun Li as well, amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff. That was a good movie.
I believe they're remaking it right now. I believe
Yeah,
it's being remade. And if
yeah.
I'm not mistaken, the character of Guile is being played by Cody Rhodes, WWE superstar Cody
That's
Rhodes, which is an interesting idea and a lot of fun because he looks already kind of like the character from the arcade version. So
yeah.
it's a fun idea.
He does look a little more
All
like
right,
that.
so this is one of those beautiful things where you have a Christmas Day release, December 25th. We have a Christmas Day release, and we get really two of the movies. One of them I'm not sure I remember, but this movie IQ comes out,
Yes.
and if I'm not mistaken, if I say it too loud, she's going to bust in the door like Kool-Aid Man and be like, "That's my favorite movie." That is the president of my company's all-time favorite movie. That is like she adores that movie.
IQ. Really?
IQ.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's underrated. It's a very underrated romantic comedy. It's got all the players, right? Fred Shapizi's doing the directing, and it's got Tim Robbins and Meg Ryan and Walter Matthau playing Albert Einstein. Is
Yep.
just genius casting. It's just genius
Yep.
casting, and
Yep.
Charles Durning's in it as well. So I mean, it's got a lot of great players and did pretty well. It's like a 25 million, made it like 50, so that's pretty good for the romantic comedies at the time. And yeah, I mean, you know, Meg Ryan's huge in the romantic comedy world in this era. Of course, she's got several of them under her belt at this point. We've talked about a bunch of them, and I mean, what can you say? Yeah, it's an underrated one for her though. This is one of those ones that kind of gets lost behind when Harry
Mm-hmm.
Met and Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail and all the other great ones she's made. So
Yeah, it's funny because not Sleepless. When Harry Met Sally is not only one of my favorite Meg Ryan movies, it's one of my favorite rom-coms of all time. We've talked about that before. But I actually quite love this movie as well because of Walter Matthau playing Albert Einstein. He is so good in this movie and so much fun. It is 100% worth watching. They're not as pop culture-y, but after you watch the movie, if you find it endearing, you'll find yourself. There's a few little one-liners that come through that are fun. And again, something I enjoy. I'm trying not to have Kool-Aid Man Presidente bust into the room and start quoting lines, but I was shocked one day we were talking, and that came up as like her favorite movie. I was like, "What? That is a rarity. You don't hear this one. This is not one you hear a lot." So interesting on that side.
does she listen to our
So we're
show?
gonna shift. Go ahead.
Does she listen to our show?
I don't know.
Because you referred
Probably
to
while we're recording it.
because you've referred to her as Kool-Aid Man like 3 times now.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. All
That's
right.
fine. I mean, I'm the. She may be the president, but I'm the owner, so I get to talk down. That's how it
Well,
works.
Jerry Seinfeld loses a girlfriend on Seinfeld for this very reference. So I'm just
Yeah.
telling you right now, like just letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's not my girlfriend.
Well,
Let's
it's not.
not go.
She's an employee who might decide to just quit.
Yeah, I don't want to go into to disclosure here in this movie, or I mean, I don't want to take the movie Disclosure and make it a reality. That's the other way around. If you've seen the movie Disclosure, so anyway. All right, so now we get the Jungle Book, and look, this is another book that has just been able to be made a lot
Stop.
of different ways.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is the animal equivalent of Little Women.
Yeah, it's just got more
Maybe it'll clip that.
comedic elements at different times. This is a very serious version of this movie, though. It's
Yeah.
it's Stephen Summers. By the way, I want to talk about IQ just real quick. Going back, just
Yeah.
Fred Shapizi also did one of my favorite rom-coms of all time, Roxanne. He directed that.
Oh yeah.
Roxanne's one of the best
Yeah.
Steve Martin movies
Yeah.
ever.
Roxanne's great.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
I want to mention that because that movie really, IQ really does have all the players in it. I mean, it's Fred Shapizi's an outstanding romantic comedy director, and he's a little underrated, but great nonetheless. But back to the Jungle Book, directed by Stephen Summers, and it starred Jason Scott Lee and Carrie Elwes and Sam Neill and John Cleese, and it's got all those. It's got all the fun. So it's live action, and it did pretty well. It didn't do what some of these Jungle Books are going to do later on, but it was like a $30 million,
Right.
which they'll never shoot a Jungle Book again for $30 million. That'll never happen. I mean, they're always going to be like 150 million from here on out, at least, and probably more. But it made 70 million, did really well. But yeah, it's kind of underrated because there's been so many of them that have come out since. But
Yeah.
still good.
And that's the same. That's the same Stephen Summers that gives us the Mummy series. Is that correct? Is that the same guy?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's crazy. I never thought about that before. I never thought about him having done this movie, which is interesting. I quite like Steven Sommers. I think he's actually a very capable director.
Good. He's really good. Van
He's
Helsing.
really good.
Van Helsing.
Yeah, he's made some really good movies. Yeah, he's made
G.I.
some really fun stuff.
Joe: The Rise of Cobra.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Adventures
Steven Sommers.
talked about on the show. Yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff, no doubt.
All right, so the last movie on this list, it feels like it's a trap. So I'm going to say it Alabama style, which is Pret-a-Porter.
Pret-a-Porter.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but it came out in
I don't
America.
even. I don't have no idea.
But
Okay.
it came out in America called Ready to Wear.
Ah, got it.
That's why. Yep. I threw you for a loop.
Yeah, I have no idea about this movie. Is it a not
So,
Jean Reno? Is it Jean Reno? What's the guy's name that was so
so
popular in the 90s?
Robert Altman directed.
Who is it?
Robert Altman directed this movie,
Oh, wow.
and what he did was he shot it during Paris Fashion Week. So it kind of plays as a movie, looking like kind of like a documentary kind of thing. It's got lots. It's known for having
Interesting.
tons of cameos. It's got tons of cameos, tons of them. People in the fashion industry, actors, actresses, various people. It's got a massive cast. The cast is longer than my arm of people that are like huge. So it's you'd have to watch the movie to know all the cast. I mean, it's got everybody in it. So it's Julia Roberts and Kim Basinger and Lauren Bacall and Tim Robbins and Willie Taylor. They're all in here. So I mean, everybody's here. So it's check it out. Yeah, it did pretty well actually. It was like an $18 million movie, made like 47, so pretty solid. Um, I saw it at Village Six, which is where you
Yeah,
would
I was going to say
watch them.
Robert Alt. Yeah, Robert Altman movies were kind of. He made a lot of ensemble type stuff. That's off memory. I don't expect you to. If you do,
Yeah,
great. But if not, it seems like he made a lot of ensemble. Yeah, and that's his whole thing. I remember learning about him in film school. He was a very much part of my film school curriculum. I just don't remember that movie.
yeah, no, it's a good movie. I mean, Robert Altman, has done a lot of big stuff. He did, of course, did Mash, the movie
Yeah.
Mash, and he did The Player, which is another movie that's got a huge ensemble grouping of actors and actresses. So, yeah, he's got he was a legendary director, and this is a pretty good movie. More towards the back end of his career. So, good film.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that means we've done it. We have made it through December of 1994, which also means, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, that's a wrap on 1994.
We're getting
And
ready.
next episode,
We're getting ready to get into a really interesting year.
absolutely,
1995
absolutely.
is insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's my graduation year. Yeah. It's a lot. There's a lot of stuff happened. We probably won't even mention most of the stuff, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about some of it.
Yeah, some stuff will make it through. We don't want to trash anybody. They might still be around.
No.
Um, or put ourselves publicly out there in case we ever run for office. We don't want to do that either.
There's so much to talk about.
But it's exciting. 95 is a lot. There's a lot that happens in 95. There's a lot of movies and music and all the stuff that people have loved. But there's also, as we said, we were fortunate that our theaters didn't shift much, but we will have some of those little stories along the way. So again, if you're liking the show, we know we get lots of feedback, but if you're liking the show, make sure you share it. The one thing that always helps us, and people have asked before, is if you do share the show, it does go a long way. Like, just share it or give us a review. Tell us what you like. Even look, we'll take it all. We'll take 5 stars. We'll take 3 stars. We'll take 4 stars. We'll even take a 1 star. But like, put something more than just good. Just tell us what you like or tell us what you don't like. But reviews help.
Well, I mean, we're also our biggest page is on Facebook, so Back for Our Future
Yeah.
podcast, and we got the biggest following on Facebook. So it's let's go there. If you go there, like our page, we put up tons of stuff, and we put up links for all the different shows and stuff like that there as well, and get all the information. And you can write us a comment. I answer all the stuff, so you're getting me usually 100% of the time. So it's yeah, do that. And, well, like I said, I mean, like we were talking about, depending on which platform you listen to, make sure you subscribe, like, review, rate, do all those things. Help us out a little bit. It'd be nice. And share it. Share it. You can
Yeah.
share these things to all your social media platforms. So share all our links. Help us out a little bit. It'd be nice. Be nice to us in 2026.
Yeah.
So how long we'll be doing
Yeah.
this.
Look, let's get a goal. Wouldn't you guys love it that if this year, that this show, at least one episode, we get to say, this episode of Back for Our Future is brought to you by Pluto TV. I know you guys want to hear that. I know you want that to happen. Here's the catch. Pluto TV probably doesn't even have money for advertising because they're free. We don't care. We just want the official statement that gets to say, oh, this episode was presented officially by Pluto TV.
There you go.
That's all.
We want. Let's do it.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Tony, last words. Anything you got to say?
Pray. Everybody should pray. We all need it. We all need it. Whether you think so or not, you should pray. You should pray for everybody. We're going to have a good 2026, but we all need prayer. So use your weekend to reflect and pray for each other. Thank you.